All right. So,
Yeah,
so
let's
just hit
go.
play.
Yeah, it's time for a death
All right.
battle.
It's time for death battle.
Ichigo Kurosaki versus Yusuke Urameshi.
The substitute Shinigami of Bleach versus the spirit detective
Whoa,
of
wait,
Yu
he
Yu
jumped out of his
Hakusho.
body.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons,
jumped out of
armor,
his
and
body?
skills to find out
Yeah,
who would win
when
a
Ichigo-
death battle.
Oh,
When
he
Ichigo
did.
just jumped
He
out
actually
now.
did. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he jumped out
Tell
of
me,
his body. So
Boomstick,
that technically
what
could
happened?
be a
Yusuke
win
has
con for
a
Yusuke.
win
Die.
solution.
Yeah.
Endless nothingness? Jeez, man, I don't know. We just started.
Our souls are ferried by Shinigami, gods of death, in an eternal cycle of death and rebirth.
That was my second guess.
And when a soul goes astray, warped by evil and regret, it's a Shinigami's job to purify such violent hollows and send them off to the realm of the dead, the Soul Society.
I don't
Works
think that's how
great
you
till it
purify.
doesn't.
That's just straight up murder.
That's exorcism. Less of a purification, more like,
his mom
go
was
away.
killed by a hollow. Reason number one why you
Like,
should
I
never
even saw
want your kid to be
Genkai
the
from
anime
the
protagonist.
Yu Yu
Left
Hakusho
with his
series
grief,
purified
young
3
Ichigo was
people
crushed under the
from a
weight of
fucking,
survivor's guilt.
like
He lashed out
like
the
what
only
is it, a
way he knew
genetic
how.
device?
People up.
But this
Yeah.
wound
Like
began to
that's
heal when he found his
purifying,
calling.
not
Upon meeting a
fucking
Shinigami
decapitated a
named
head and shit. Like what the fuck?
She split Buddy in half. Like, oh yeah, get purified. Sure, if that's what you call it.
Ichigo's a Shinigami.
Substitute Shinigami. To carry out his duties, Ichigo sheds his body for an invisible one made of spiritual matter called
What's
Rage.
crazy is I don't think I swear he doesn't do that going forward in Bleach.
And exert it offensively in the form of spiritual pressure.
They probably stopped
called
showing
Rage.
it.
Okay, that's a lot of big words, but all
Okay.
But I had a
realize is
feeling,
he's
too, that was the
superpowered
case.
ghost with an epic sword. His spirit
Yeah,
is
but
so
to be
strong,
fair, I don't
it's
like
done
Yusuke.
ghost,
He,
crushed
I
him
don't
under
think
his
he
own
would
power.
attack his
Fatally.
He controls
body.
spirit matter in and
Because
around
even if his
him,
body
making
dies,
his
Ichigo
defense
wouldn't die,
leaping
right?
off of
Because he
invisible
still would just be in a
footholds in the air.
Shinigami
With
form.
speed-boosting skills like
Well,
Shinigami, he
isn't-
can virtually fly.
Isn't the Shinigami form considered a spirit?
For their lunch money.
Yeah,
And hello to the town's
yes.
new superhero
So I mean,
with
the body will be
Ghostbusters
dead,
or
but he wouldn't be able to go back to his
and
body if
earlier,
he's like a
was
spirit.
Correct.
It was the
But
Shinigami's
yeah,
job
that wouldn't be a
to
win
tear
con
apart
for
a new
Yusuke. That would just be
While
making sure he
balancing
can't go back to his
responsibilities
physical
at school,
form.
of course, GPA comes first. and
So
maybe a
like,
round
if
or
he
two
runs
of
out of like Ryatsu, however they call it, wouldn't he just go like to the spirit world or some shit?
Probably, but considering that Ichigo is basically an OC's favorite character, I doubt that would even happen because he's like 4 different races.
which isn't confusing at all.
Just call them old man Zengetsu and Hollow Zengetsu. Anyway, the double ghost sword gives Ichigo lots of new moves, including his trademark attack, the sword beam to end all sword beams. Getsuga Tensho!
Yeah,
Getsuga
that's
Tensho is
definitely the most
incredibly powerful
like
and so
iconic
effective
sword
at
attack of all
multiple
time.
variants. He can fire it as a wave, detonate it mid-attack to act as a barrier, and combine 2 at once into the even stronger.
I
Getsuga
found it
Tensho.
I found it funny because like his Getsuga Tensho was like supposed to be overpowered, but like someone I don't know if I read it in a meme, but like he always misses it.
Menos Grande.
Oh,
So I'm like, yeah, that's kind of cool, though, but damn, does it have a shit
yeah,
accuracy?
I'm pretty sure the accuracy rate on it is very low. But I remember when he fought Ukiyoda, he busted his like fully hollified Getsuga Tensho, and bro just stood there and was like, "Is that it? You done?"
Time for a good old-fashioned training arc. Hit the music!
Until now, Zangetsu had operated only in its base state, Shikai. So Ichigo learned to release its inner power, a 10 times boost that takes most Shinigami a decade to master. Bankai!
In Bankai, his speed skyrocketed, letting him turn the tables on douchebag Byakuya. Even in Shikai, he blocked
Bro
an
was really
attack
gonna
and
off his
destroyed
own
the whole
sister.
Frickin' Soul Society.
Because Ichigo's greatest gift is his potential to improve. Despite only being a teenager, he mastered swordsmanship well enough to thrash experts who had been training for centuries. He can quickly adapt to new weapons and styles mid-fight, surpassing his limits time and time again.
Like when he took on Cat
Okay,
Boy
but that's
Grimjow.
Renji though. That don't count. Renji's ass.
He made sure to that was all he needed to smash that kitty.
You mean Grimjow, right?
Yeah, But even with that main character energy, Ichigo couldn't match Big Bad Aizen. With just a finger, Aizen stopped Ichigo's Bankai.
And his theme song.
Yep. Ichigo needed to tap into
Song. What the fuck?
That shit was goated. Aizen caught his blade with a finger, whole track shut
Next
off.
level fucking drip, dog.
Still, Ichigo needed his help and conjured a hollow mask to expand his power. But this meant the hollow within only grew stronger.
Masked up, he can fire lasers, bypass super senses.
Now I'm
and
wondering
he'll
if
lost
Ichigo's gonna go through all
but
his
piss him off
forms.
enough, and he'll go full
Because
hollow.
at full power,
Really don't
it, like by
want
the
that.
end of the series, he doesn't technically need to go like holification or anything like that, but probably just for the nostalgia, right?
Full hollow Ichigo could even tear through all 3 layers of hell.
But with help from his secret Shinigami father, Ichigo continued to train for
Is the audio
months
fine, or
in
you want me to lower it a little bit?
Audio's good. I can actually lower it on my own end. So I did turn it down
Okay.
so it's not louder
Challenge is
than
an
you.
understatement. He manhandled Aizen, shattered mountains with sheer aura, and flexed so hard he smashed out of the black coffin, which crushes space like a mini black hole.
And yet, it still wasn't enough. So by becoming Getsuga itself, Ichigo unleashed his ultimate attack.
I hated this. His Mugetsu attack, I hated it because they're like, oh, he's gonna take all his power away, and then like 2 days later, he's like, hey guys, I got powers again.
Until then,
It was not really a sacrifice.
Shinigami meant to him. The power to protect others, his drive.
See, that's the reason why I kind of hated it a little bit more, because like this move was to considerably end your Shinigami life.
Right. And then
like
he just comes back
against
like,
maybe the people hated it, and the creator was like, okay, fuck it. He magically got his powers back by doing some kind of ritual or whatever.
yeah. I guess they kind of like re-replicated the way he became a Shinigami to
was a
begin
member
with.
of the ancient Quincy's and possessed by a hollow. Hence, his 2 Sanbakuto spirits, one Quincy, the other hollow and Shinigami, made Ichigo a perfect union to break Yuhabak's plan. Finally, Ichigo understood himself.
Everybody pronounces that man's name differently.
With that came a new Shikai and 2 new Zanpakuto.
Like, I've heard Ewok, I've heard Yahaba, I've heard Iha, and I'm like, bro, what is this man's name?
Dead. Undead? Yeah.
Stronger than Kabachi, who could split the Dangai in half. Stronger than Senjumaru, who shook heaven and earth across the realms. And strong enough to match Yuhabak, even after he absorbed the Soul King.
Juiced up with Soul King power, Yuhabak could nuke all 3 realms. The human world, Soul
Has this
Society,
part been
and
animated yet?
Mundo, plus the
I don't think
Dangai
so,
and
right?
Garganza in between, which
No, I
have
don't watch Bleach, so.
Hell,
I was watching Thousand Year Blood War, but then once they started cutting it into like different cores, I was like, it's okay. There's better stuff out
Yuhabak was going
anyway.
to end everything through sheer power alone.
Ichigo still wasn't done powering up.
Entering a new half-hollow form and merging his Getsuga
Oh, he has more half hollow shit. Come on.
Yeah, he
How much
mixed his
more
hollow
shit they're
form
gonna
with.
give this dude, man?
No, he's literally 4 different races. Like, I'm not even joking. He has Hollow, he has Quincy, he has Shinigami, and then he has Fullbringer.
Yuhabak was scared of it.
Joke's on you. Ichigo didn't even need it. You're done.
Ichigo was finally content. And 10 years
I mean,
later,
he won,
remained
but like on a
Shinigami,
technicality
having found the
though.
courage to stand on the edge of life and death, conquer his fears, and walk onward. He threw himself in front of a speeding car to save a child.
Surprisingly, it wasn't Truck-kun that took his life.
Truck-kun claims another victim.
It wasn't Truck-kun, that was Car-kun. That was his little brother.
Okay.
That was his little brother, Car-kun.
A spooky skeleton in a hood who arrived to claim Yusuke's soul. It was a blue-haired anime girl on a broomstick.
This was
Ah yes, my type of
Job
Grim
was to
Reaper.
ferry Yusuke's newly deceased spirit off to the afterlife.
Unfortunately, or I guess fortunately for him, he was such an asshole that the underworld didn't see his selfless death coming and didn't have any space prepared for him. Imagine being such a
Wow.
menace to society that the second you do something nice, hell itself gets caught with its pants down.
So the underworld searched
Like, oh shit, he was
for
supposed to be dead?
Yusuke in
Oh
the
man,
he could return
clear
to life
room.
As an agent of the afterlife, a spirit detective, solving supernatural crimes and fighting off demonic threats to humanity.
Naturally, Yusuke did what anyone would do.
Yusuke had nothing but tough
So many
hits.
memories.
Bro
So many
had
good
tough
memories
fits
watching
every
this show.
time.
He was never really good for anything, and no one was gonna miss him. So what's the point of coming back to life? It's not like his mom would be sad, or his childhood sweetheart Keiko would be heartbroken, or even his
No,
I
nobody
keep,
would cry, man.
I keep getting like that. Those scenes kept getting me, bro. Like it was tough watching those parts.
Yeah, especially as I like got older, it hit even more because there were a lot of times in my life where I was like, man, if I died, no one would give a shit. And then watching this show again, I was like, dang, people I don't even think would care would probably care.
Yup.
Fast and durable, heals from wounds quickly, and can see spirits invisible to mortal men.
Even early on, Yusuke could parry
Best of both
Suzaku's
worlds.
lightning arrows, which are formed from real lightning called down from the sky. And with the help of legendary warrior Genkai, he mastered a signature move that could blast anyone to smithereens.
My favorite shonen move ever,
The Spirit Gun.
Spirit Gun.
Spirit gun.
Yusuke had a limited number of shots, but eventually he turned it into his personal WM.
Yeah, he had like 2 a day or something like that. When it first
Nah,
started.
when he first started, it was 1 a day.
Oh yeah, it was one.
Then after that, after training with Genkai, it's 4 a day.
Yeah.
Propel himself around like a rocket in flight and produce massive explosions with each shot.
But then after that, I don't know why it was 4 a day because he kept shooting so much at Yomi.
At some point, he didn't even have a limit.
Clovers the hell out of you. And the Spirit Wave, a Kamehameha from before we uncultured Americans knew what a Kamehameha was.
But he's deceptively skilled and cunning in battle.
I remember that dude. He beat the hell out of that dude.
Oh, the
turned
doctor,
into
yeah.
that turned into a meme for a while.
Personally, I'd call that smart. And his hand-to-hand is A+. He's matched experts like Cabano, who's said to have mastered all forms of martial combat.
But his best secret is how quickly he improves. All it takes is a round of training or someone threatening his friends, and Yusuke's power will spike to match.
Yeah, the power of friendship is a real thing.
He's literally burning through his own life force for a power-up.
All known demons and demon fighters are individually ranked on a scale of power from E to S.
E and D class demons are nothing special. We're talking local threats at best.
Wait, Byakuya was a C demon? No way.
Fucking Toguro was B. I thought he was an A.
We're talking end of the world.
No, yeah, it's a girl, yeah.
Bonds with new allies like demons Hiei and Kurama, as well as his old pal.
I loved Kurama growing up. He was one of my favorite
such as
characters.
the monstrous Toguro, who could vaporize weaker demons.
He was too strong, bro. To be honest, like they made this fool so buff every single shot, bro. On Hiei,
Oh,
like it was
genuinely.
not necessary at all.
Even if it meant absorbing the power of a small star. Thanks, Denkai.
Our sun has an average luminosity of 380 septillion watts, or joules per second. Small stars like red dwarfs output about 1/10,000th of that. So this spirit orb's energy per second would equal about 9 million megatons of TNT.
I don't like that death metal measures power in TNT sometimes. That kind of irritates
know.
me.
More power to face
It takes me out of it. Like why?
Yeah, I'm like, that shouldn't be a measurement for power. It really shouldn't be.
Demons are capable of.
Sensui was so yoked he couldn't even use all his power in the human world without threatening to bring down the whole thing. He compared destroying the whole goddamn planet to kicking an anthill.
According to Genkai, Yusuke
And he
could
got his
destroy
ass
the planet
whooped.
too, if he really wanted. And even A-class threats like King Enma have shaken both the demon and human worlds.
That anima guy is strong as balls. In the past, he fought the Netherworld King Yakuma.
Yeah, I was wondering if they're gonna add that though.
Human world and
Yeah, I was wondering.
Like, cause
too.
there's spirit energy, demon energy, and the necro energy was apparently the most broken one.
Yeah.
And do keep in mind, Yusuke was still only A-class at the time. A far cry from
Allegedly
S-class
A-class.
Sensei, whose sacred energy was 10 times his superior.
But not for long, sucker, because turns out Yusuke was a demon himself.
Hell yeah,
Yeah,
that
his
was a
dad.
cool ass plot twist.
Ancient
Yeah.
and incredibly
He found out
powerful
through
being, one of
his
the
father.
strongest in existence.
He was like half demon.
Ryzen, the
His
demon
demonic
king.
father was a demon. That was crazy.
That demon form in freaking Jump Force, not Jump Force, in J Stars, the J Stars Victory Versus game.
Oh, the
shit was
okay,
busted,
Energy
bro.
used by demons. Like normal
I
Raiden,
bet.
Yusuke already had cool combos, but that demon form was badass.
Its use creates a pleasurable feeling, feeding into the user's rage and bloodlust, the feral animal within.
So Yusuke upgraded his spirit gun to a demon gun. It's
Hell
the same
yeah.
Oh yeah, he straight up vaporized Sensui with that
Holy
shit too.
red.
Sensui passed the horizon, putting Yusuke's power firmly in S-class.
And making him a prime candidate to rule the demon world. But as he was
He's
thrust
like,
into
nah,
a
I'm
tournament
good.
vying for that throne, Yusuke began to wonder if all this power was
Oh,
what
so
he
they are
really
adding
wanted.
it. Let's go.
Self-reflection?
Yep.
From I'll kick your ass, Yusuke Urameshi? Nah, we can worry about that later. There's a tournament to win. Which one of you, girl, baby, or grandparents is first?
Even then,
Yup.
Yusuke took on the Demon King Yomi in an epic final battle. He was still growing. He had become far stronger than before, even achieving a unique version of the Mozoku form separate from Raisen's
Yeah, integrated into his base form.
Yeah.
Make a new form of power. Kind of like Sensui's secret
So they
energy,
did
but
bring it
even
in.
better.
Create
Yeah,
a
they
new
did ready
power.
to bring it up. Let's go.
It doesn't even have a name, but it's golden glowy.
strong enough to clash with Yomi,
It's
creating
glowing.
an explosion that split the heavens above and decimated the Okunin tree below, pushing the Demon King himself to his absolute limits.
Yup.
Then, Yusuke lost. It's not all bad though. Even if being king would have been cool, Yusuke realized he wanted something more. He'd grown up and chose to walk a new path.
It was always Yusuke's connections with others that motivated him above all else. And it was in those connections that he found his happy ending.
But I wouldn't
Drowning.
if you can avoid it. Get him in the right mood or threaten the human world, and the spirit detective will beat your stupid ass.
That's why I think he's gonna win.
Yeah.
For sure.
As far as like the way the franchises are like scaled, I know for a fact that Bleach, especially in its late series, scales higher. I feel like that statement about Ichigo beating Yahaba is gonna come into play with like Ichigo's power scaling here. Even though he technically won that fight on a technicality, like they shut off Yahaba's power for like a split second, and Ichigo took advantage of the split second. But I wouldn't say that means he scales over Yahaba. But I feel like they're gonna use that as a way to get Ichigo to kind of pull out at the top into winning. I'm still rooting for Yusuke because I love him more than Ichigo, but I feel like it's
I really
scaling
don't
wise.
give two damns about Bleach, so I'm rooting for Yusuke since I never watched Bleach.
Yeah, I'm rooting for Yusuke regardless. That's my boy, but scaling wise, I think Ichigo has it.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
That's a demon. That's hollow. No doubt about it.
They both locked in hella hard. Let's go. Jeez. Hands for days.
I mean, brought that nice.
Wow, right in the dick. He spirit gunned him in the dick. Blow the Hollow's head right off. Blow his head smooth off. Yup.
Jump change.
Reckless idiot!
What a baby! Little demon energy gets you scared.
Getsuga! Yujisho!
Two at once? Damn, why didn't I
Shotgun?
do that?
That's
Oh,
funny.
there you go.
Give in to me, Yusuke. Let's devour him together.
Ryzen, let's go.
Hell no! This is my fight, jackass! You just told me back!
Nice.
watching last time.
Oh. Give him the Broly
I like the
treatment.
animation that they're doing on this shit. That's kind of clean.
It is nice.
Rude awakening. This one's a piece of work. Need a hand, partner?
Let's do it. Like old times.
On! Kai!
That was kind of cool too.
Tensa! Songa!
Oh, he deflected that.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I think Yusuke got this.
You can do? I can go even
That was a full power Servo. He was like, nah.
Hell yeah!
Slapped it away.
Get on,
kills me. I'm putting it all on the line.
Is he breaking his sword? All right.
Screw that.
What the fuck is this?
Give me a freaking break.
Damn.
On the other side.
Damn, no way. Wow.
Yeah.
You think the afterlife offers frequent flyer miles?
There's a lot to cover here, so let's break this down into 4 chapters, starting with their abilities.
Yusuke could see Ichigo no problem, and resist auras like Taguro's that are similar to Reiatsu, so Ichigo couldn't cheese a win right away.
Otherwise, Yusuke was outmatched. Sure, the Spirit Gun could potentially match the Getsuga Tensho, and he had stat-boosting forms like the Mizoku. Ichigo, however, had more varied powers, a better healing factor, greater stamina given his months of Dongai training,
And all those swords! He just had way more abilities to play with.
likewise, speed was a fairly easy call. Yusuke could react to lightning early on, and obviously got much faster over time. Looking at this blast from his clash with Yomi, it erupted upwards at 57% the speed of light.
But Ichigo was faster than light from the start, and he's gotten faster too. He couldn't even see Byakuya at first. But
I wouldn't say from the start. It was probably when he got Bunkai.
Since then.
The Soul King Shockwave, for example, expanded across the realms at thousands of times light speed, and Ichigo reacted to attacks from Soul King Yuhabak that utilized the same power.
That actually is true, though.
Ichigo takes speed. But Yusuke's fought plenty of foes faster and more varied than him, so it's extremely important to examine their tactics and ability to adapt
Yeah,
mid-fight.
Yusuke was unpredictable. That's what
Right.
makes him. That's
His
what made him
fighting
a
style is
threat.
very
Guys with
unpredictable.
centuries of training
And he adapts faster, too.
experience as a Shinigami.
Yeah, he adapts
He's pretty
faster.
good at figuring out new weapons and styles.
Meanwhile, Yusuke was flexible and quick to adapt, mixing cleverness with exceptional hand-to-hand. He's good enough to match Kabano, who mastered every martial art. Ichigo's decent at hand-to-hand, but it's not his go-to in the same way.
So both had their strong suits.
Yeah, that's how when he got rid of his sword, he was getting his ass whooped.
Yeah, he was getting his
Arguably
ass
the
rocked.
biggest winning factor, which could have superseded all other advantages: power.
Between Sensui, Genkai, and Enma, Yusuke could definitely destroy the planet. Examining his sky-splitting clash with Yomi and measuring its scale, that's about 4 quadrillion megatons of TNT, which is
So we call it the
crazy.
TNT measurement.
Similarly, mid-series Ichigo could shake Huecomundo, tear through hell,
That is
and block
true.
attacks that could destroy the Soul Society. But at his peak, he beat Yuhabak, who could destroy several realms, which is far more impressive than just one.
To be fair, Yusuke also beat Yakumo, who could threaten 2 realms at the same time, pretty close to Yuhabak's threat in 3.
And Yusuke far surpassed Yakumo afterward. The gap between him and Sensui alone was 10 times. So there could be an argument for Yusuke's power surpassing Ichigo if 3 realms was truly Ichigo's limit.
Fortunately for Ichigo, it's not. Yuhabak was also gonna destroy the Garganta, which has at least 29 pocket dimensions inside it.
Each containing at least a planet and star. much
Yeah, and the
larger
realms
than
in Bleach are
the world.
a lot
Plus,
more
Ichigo
massive,
backed
if I remember
Yuhabak
correctly.
Okay, like Bleach is coming up with some fucking crazy ass.
They do
lore
some
and
really
shit.
crazy scaling. Like the realms in Bleach are like the same, like relatively the same size of like realms in Dragon Ball, and realms in Dragon Ball are damn near stated to be almost infinite in size. So I can understand the argument for Ichigo's power being that
The
crazy.
winner is Ichigo Kurosaki.
Next time on
It's like there's a lot of nitpicky stuff I could say regarding Ichigo, but at the end of the day, even if I nitpick at it, I think he still comes out on top. Cell versus
Yeah.
Metal Sonic though, I put money on Metal Sonic, and we ain't even seen it yet.
Thanks for watching.
Death Battle is back, and so is our
I say so.
If we're using any feats from the comics, then I think Metal Sonic got that 100%.
If we're not using Alvin Earthworm's logic of him merging with the other previous models of Metal Sonic, and he becomes Metalix, then yeah, Cell's got it.
Yeah, and
because
if we're-
regular Metal Sonic,
I think that
like he's
also
just speed, man.
I don't think they're gonna use, if they use Metalix, it'll probably be like a final resort form or something. But I don't think he's gonna get the virus that he had either, because when he had the virus that he was using in the comics to infect people, it took time for them to get infected, like a lot of time. And then even if you try to infect Cell, he can just like self-destruct and then regrow from like a single cell or something like that. So
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
yeah, so
exactly.
it really depends on like what version of Metal Sonic and Cell that they're what version of Metal Sonic they're going for. With Cell, it's probably just going to be Cell Saga. They're not going to do Cell Max for obvious reasons. It's not even the same creature.
Yeah, no, hell no. Dude, that's a giant form. Why the fuck? What the fuck?
Right. Yeah. But I know like some people would argue like, oh, it's Cell technically, but no, it's not Cell.
No, it's not.
It's not
Cell
our
because
mainline Cell
didn't.
at all.
He didn't even have a mind of his own and shit. Like he was just like following how would you say programs and shit.
Yeah.
When in the real Cell, he had a mind of his own. He had his own free will. Sure, he had a objective to do, but he did it on his own accord.
Yeah, I would accept Cell Max as a version of Cell if in the story Hedo had like taken like data from Cell, like if they had like a backup of like everything he knew, like all his knowledge, and then put that in Cell Max, then I could be like, this is just a reincarnated version. But no, it was a completely different thing. So yeah, if we're using like regular Cell Saga Cell and then like Metal Sonic, but without his Metalix and without his comic book forms or without his comic book feats, then yeah, I think Cell's got that. But if we're using everything for Metal Sonic, I think Metal Sonic has way more versatility and a lot more to pull from as far as like his feats and abilities, and that would probably give him the edge.
Okay, I see.
But yeah, I think Cell at the highest scales to like solar system, obviously with like the solar Kamehameha said to, you know, blow up the whole solar system. But I don't know. It's really up in the air because Metal Sonic in most cases scales to Sonic, and Sonic is a pretty crazy character himself, being able to like literally survive the universe being erased. But yeah, it really just depends on what version they're using for Metal.
That's the only thing that my buddy spoiled. He was all like, "Oh, Cell versus Metal Sonic for the next death battle." I'm like, he's like, "Well, because they're androids." I'm like, "Well, technically, Cell is not an android.
They're creations
he's
of a
made
mad
out of,
scientist made to rival
yeah.
the main character."
And I told him like it could be because of their time traveling, maybe because Cell he's an android, yes, but he's not mechanical though. He's bioengineered.
Yeah, I think it's just that
He's
they're
literally flesh.
I think it's just because they're engineered by like a mad scientist who has personal beef with the main character, and the primary programming is kill the main character. But yeah, that's gonna be interesting though. I'm gonna say for now that it's up in the air, but when they explain whatever they explain for Metal Sonic, that'll for sure determine in my mind who wins. But yeah, that was an interesting death battle. I can't complain too much.
Yeah, I can't complain too much either, but like, I mean, like, come on, that sword was about to shatter. How the hell did it not shatter
really about
already?
to break. It had like 2 punches before it shattered completely. But yeah, I don't know.
The fact that he was able to like, you know, attack with it still without it shattering. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it should have broken in my opinion, especially since it was already almost completely cracked through. It should have shattered.
But yeah, overall, Nutshot, yes, perfect taste. The perfect take right there. That was like the best part.
That was funny. To be honest, I thought the battle was gonna end with like the most powerful Getsuga Tensho versus like the most powerful Spirit Gun. I thought that would have been cool if like he had like mixed his new energy and used like a strong Spirit Gun or something. That would have been interesting. But I don't know. I feel like their research wasn't wrong technically. It's just that with Ichigo they gave him some feats that I feel like were more technicalities, where it's like if you look at it more, it's like, did he really though? Because yeah, they're like, yeah, he defeated he defeated Yahaba, and Yahaba can scale to like three realms or 4 realms, and I'm like, that's cool and all, but he didn't beat him on his own power. He beat him because Uryu shut his powers off for like half a second. Like, bro had omnipotent powers. Like, there was no way Ichigo by himself was gonna beat a guy who can just decide, nah, you lose, and that's canon now.
Like, and Yusuke, I think out of all the fights, he's only won because of Ryzen. That was it. That was against Sensui.
Yeah, he beat Sensui because of Ryzen, but
he beat Taguro on his
Demon
own
King
because he needed
was on his own.
Yeah, like he didn't really beat the Demon King. He almost did if it
Well,
wasn't
yeah,
for his
I
little
mean,
fucking
not beat him,
kid.
but I mean the fight that they had. It was like where he
Yeah,
came really close. That was his own power, pretty much.
yeah. Ichigo, he needed help. Like, are you guys not gonna add that? Like, hello,
Nope,
like,
nope,
Ichigo
not at
can't.
all.
I don't think I've seen one fight where Ichigo won through his own accord. Well, maybe
There's
sometimes, but like,
actually no, there's some. He beat Grimjow on his own. I'm pretty sure he beat Ukiyoto. Well, it's hard to say he beat Ukiyoto on his own because a lot of what he did was like, I'm a hollow now. Like he just had hollow powers. But
see, that's where I'm trying to
technically
get.
his abilities. So I don't
See,
know.
like that's what I'm trying to get at though, like because like when I say alone, like Yusuke, he doesn't have like an inner self that he talks to, be like, hey,
Right.
I need this power up. Can you tell me out? Like Naruto has the nine tails. Ichigo, he has this hollow form that he has to speak to, be like, hey, yo, let's combine our powers and shit. And also the same thing when he fought Aizen, he had to get stabbed by the sword in order to become Getsuga himself.
Yeah.
So I was like,
But I think
that, to me, I'm
that's
saying
just
that,
a matter of
not-
like how
that's-
the world works though, because in Bleach the power system primarily hinges on their Zanbakutos, and their Zanbakutos are like their own conscious beings. So it's not in the sense of Naruto where it's like, oh, Kurama, give me your power so I can win this fight. It's more so like the sword, while it is sentient, it's like an extension of the person because they have to be chosen by the sword. Like their souls have to like literally resonate with the sword. So yeah, it is a separate being, but it doesn't work in the same regard as like the tail beast in Naruto.
Yeah, I mean, overall, it was a good show to come back to after that Vegeta versus Thor video.
Oh yeah, for sure. yeah, for sure. I will shit on Death Battle for as many times as I need. Like they do some really good ones. Like the Dante versus Clive one was good, even though I still think Dante should have won. It was well animated. The research wasn't that crazy. But things like when they did Genos versus War Machine, Genos should have won that 100%. There's no way War Machine should have won that because they straight up said that War Machine that Rhodey has PTSD from his days in the war, and he literally like had to kill so many young people. He has PTSD when fighting anybody young, and I'm like, so when he just no hesitation just murdered Genos, where was the PTSD there? Like, I thought there was going to be a moment where he was going to hesitate.
Here's the thing about that. War Machine can only move as fast as the body can. Genos is a legit fucking cyborg who's throwing punches at rocket speed. He does
faster than
combo
that
moves.
because he holds up against Garo like halfway through his monster transformation.
So like you're telling me a human such as Rhodey, who has only highest combat is military training or military combat, you're telling me that he can go up against a dude that can fight literally fucking superhuman beings? Come on now.
Like Rhodey's his scaling isn't that bad. I mean, it's somewhat relative to like what Iron Man was before he started getting like god suits and stuff like that. But even then, like Genos should have won that. Like the way the like Genos in the manga at that time, he had like the full like dragon armor upgrades and everything that he had like towards the end before they fought like the Monster Association. So like then when they displayed the way they animated Genos in the fight, like they showed War Machine, I was like, okay, cool. And then they showed Genos and he had his season 1 look. I was like, yeah, Genos is cooked. Genos is 100% cooked, bro. That was biased as hell. I didn't like that. And then fucking Yang versus Tifa, Yang from Ruby fighting Tifa.
Yeah.
How the fuck did Yang win that? Like, no, what's crazy is Death Battle did a podcast episode where they were basically talking about old episodes, and they were talking like telling you behind the scenes like, oh, this is how we came up with this prediction, this is how it was animated and all that. For that one in particular, they were given the rights to use Yang by Rooster Teeth themselves, and they were like, well, do we make her look, do we have her lose and make her look bad, or do we give her a really good fight with Tifa? How are we going to do this? And it really just boiled down to whether they were like, we don't want her to win because they paid us, but at the same time, we don't want her to lose because they paid us. So I'm like, Did the research even matter at that point if you don't want her to
Matter
lose?
at that point? It sounds like the money sounded more important than the goddamn research. So like, what the
Right, but
fuck was the
then
point?
when I say, oh, Death Battle, has people win based on who pays them the most, people are like, oh, that's not true. You're not doing your research. You're just butthurt that your favorite character didn't win. No, I'm butthurt that they're scaling and their research is bullshit. Or at least it
Yeah.
was back then. I mean, the way they do their research and the way they do their animations have evolved since then. Like any episode that they've done recently is wildly different from what you got like years ago, like 10 years ago, which is true. And like you can tell in the way they scale the characters and how well they do the fights and stuff, and the way they explain it when the battle is over, you can tell they've changed the way they do their research and all that. But it's just back then when they were doing it the way they were, I was not rocking with it. The funny ones, like the Goomba versus the Koopa Troopa, those were just, haha, let's have some fun, let's laugh. But when it comes to ones that people are like really hotly debating, like Vegeta versus Thor, are we fucking serious? Like, are we serious, guys?
Because I keep telling everybody, like, the way Vegeta fights, he's fighting like fast. Thor, when I see him fight, he swings his hammer looking like it's very slow and shit. And if he misses, he misses. I'm like, this is got a thunder. Like, he's not. And here's another thing. People are saying that God of Thunder is super fast. No, he's not. Thunder is sound, vibrations.
Literally.
Thunder is what comes after the lightning. He's not fast as lightning. So how the fuck did Vegeta,
even if he is fast as
500
lightning,
times gravity, like, how did he lose to that?
But
like, I don't get that.
Even with even if he is as fast as lightning, you give him the lightning speed. Vegeta was beyond lightning speed when he got to Earth, like way back in the Sand Saga. Like, just being real, he was way faster than that. But I think the problem is, like, when you use Thor and all of his abilities, then you have to count the fact that he has the Odin Force and that he created the Thor Force and merged them. And then he's like the king of Asgard, and he rules all the realms and blah, 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 blah. And he has the power to rival Hulk. And even when you scale Hulk higher, like when you get like Planet Buster Hulk and World War Hulk and stuff like that, because Thor scales to Hulk, they have to assume that now that Hulk is blah, blah, blah powerful, Thor is now also considered blah, blah, blah powerful. And then the bigger issue is when it comes to scaling like Dragon Ball to like the Marvel Universe, there's a weird gap in power where like the Dragon Ball characters fall, where it's like anybody higher than this wildly outclasses Dragon Ball characters, but anybody lower than this is wildly decimated by Dragon Ball characters. And it's hard to put Dragon Ball characters in a fight that works well with Marvel characters, because of like that huge gap in power. Because you get characters that are like Sentry, where he's like he's one of the most powerful characters out there. He can like even in the zombie timeline, he literally ripped his way into a timeline because his zombie version was that hungry. And you're like, oh, that's OP as shit. But as far as like an actual like hand-to-hand combat with someone like Goku, I feel like he would definitely probably come close to beating Goku until he hits Ultra Instinct, but he would get no diff by someone like Beerus, who would just Hakai him. But then you get characters like fucking Odin, who had the Odin Force, and the Odin Force is so OP, it would rival something of like a God of Destruction and probably make him look like a little bitch, just because he, with the Odin Force, can rule and conquer and possibly destroy multiple like universe-sized dimensions at like the flick of a wrist, whereas Beerus only encompasses destruction on one reality. So it's really weird, like the way that the universe is scaled when it comes to like dimensionality and stuff like that. Yeah, but stuff like that really, I kind of agree with the way they did the research and like the stuff that they said when the video came out. I believe Vegeta should have won. If they did a rematch today, I think Thor would still win.
Like, I guess. If he was like super old, yeah, I guess, because like since with great age he gains more power.
Yeah, that's why I think it just depends on when they fight.
So if we put him against the infant, he would win.
Yeah. If you give him baby Thor, for sure, yeah. But then that's like the same argument with like Goku versus Superman, how they keep doing that fight like 3 times. It's like, it depends on what version of the characters you're utilizing, because even with their most recent death battle, they did the research that they did was like a full composite Goku. Like they talked about Capsule Corp Goku and like the other versions that were in like the the Super Dragon Ball Heroes, where they're, you know, like multiversal threats and stuff like that. But then in the actual death battle, Goku was like, I'm gonna go Ultra Instinct. And I'm like, okay, that's cool and all, but like, you didn't even include the Goku that was so powerful that he literally was able to fuse with the viewers and destroy like the 4D version of fucking Broly. Like that, they mentioned it and used literally none of it. So sometimes it feels like they're just saying shit in their research so people know that they know about it, but then when it comes down to the death battle, they just don't use it.
Yeah, I didn't really like that part where they made the first death battle, Goku versus Superman. It was cool, that one alone. But then, like, when Goku got God form or whatever, they were like, all right, let's make another video and just add this.
With very
like,
little
why?
research, too, because he had just
it's very little reason, because it was just new.
Yeah, he just got God form, and then the Super Saiyan Blue had just released in the Resurrection F movie, and there was like no scaling for it whatsoever.
Yeah,
but
so like that
yeah, let's include
purpose
it.
was like, and they still bitch slapped Goku at the end, like fucking laser beam through the eyes and made him pretty much killed him, or how would you say, they showed him that he got killed, but him using the laser, he just made him instant lobotomy and shit. That was about it.
Yeah, I didn't like that either. Yeah, I think they just assumed like, oh, since Goku got shot with a laser by Sorbet, that he can just die to a regular laser. And I'm like, that's technically not how that works, because he only got hit because he literally lowered his guard, because he figured, you know, Frieza's defeated. There's no point in trying to, you know, be battle ready. With Superman, there's no way you can tell me that Goku's gonna lower his guard fighting Superman. That's not gonna happen. Superman would lower his guard fighting Goku before Goku lowered his guard.
I mean, didn't Superman lower his guard when he was fighting Darkseid so many times?
Bro, I'm gonna need him to stop lowering his guard fighting Darkseid. Darkseid and Doomsday are like 2 characters that you should never lower your guard when fighting.
Like, I think I was watching the Justice League Unlimited, where like Darkseid comes back more juiced up than before.
Yeah.
And like Superman's not like, I'm gonna show you how powerful I really am. Throws at him like 2 punches, and then he's like, had enough with his arms down and shit. I'm like, bro, why do you have your arms down? He's a god. Why are you walking up to him?
To be fair, that's a problem that I have with any character in fiction, to be honest. Like, they'll be beating the fuck out of whoever they're fighting, and then they just stop. And they just stop and look at him like, yeah, had enough? No, he didn't have enough. He's still breathing. Like what are you doing?
He knew what the fuck was happening when he was fighting the girl. Like, Absolutely. After he got that power up from Genkai, like, he was punching in his face. He saw the look in his eyes like, I'm not doing shit to him. Oh, fuck.
Right. But yeah, that irritates me. Like, it's talked about, well, briefly in the Battle of Gods movie, when Vegeta gets that rage boost and starts beating the hell out of Beerus, and he was hitting him with like all the volley blast and like punching the shit out of him and shit. And then when he stopped, I think it was either Bulma or Trunks. They were like, "Why did you stop? Keep attacking him. Like, it's working." And that's kind of like where I was standing. I'm like, yeah, like characters do this a lot. They're winning the fight and then they just stop and stare. Don't stop and stare. Keep going.
Like even Hiei fucking said that. She's like, when Yusuke pulls back, fucking he's like, don't stop now.
Right. Yeah, I hate when
we need more we need more characters like Hiei, man.
I mean, you got Sasuke.
Just not that emo, I guess. Because even Sasuke got his ass wrecked by Hiei, which I was super happy about.
I was glad about. I knew Sasuke wasn't going to win, though, because, again, it's one of those things where one character blatantly outscales him. Like, drastically outscale Sasuke. Even if you took Sasuke now, like right at the end of Shippuden, like even at the beginning of Boruto, he's still not beating Hiei. Like that's
He's
not
not,
happening.
because it's all because of Hiei's eye. It tells him technically the future. Like, if
Even
he
without his eye, Hiei's still winning that
no,
fight.
it's with the eye. He wins a lot more with the eye.
Well, no, I know he wins a lot more, but I'm saying like as far as like where he sits at the end of Yu Yu Hakusho, as far as like how powerful he is, he wildly outscales Sasuke. Like it's not even a competition at that point.
Well, yeah, like at the end, yeah, of course. But like in like during the dark tournament, nah, he needs the eye.
No, for sure. I don't know. Death Battle's been
Yeah.
getting a little bit better with their. Well, I can't even say a little bit. They've definitely been getting a lot better with how they do their research and what they implement in the fights and stuff. I'm glad they actually.
I know they
pretty
gotta
much
stop. They
utilize
gotta stop
everything.
using TNT, man.
Oh yeah, no, definitely stop measuring shit in TNT, because that, unless you're gonna explain what that means after you say it, don't fucking say it, because they'll be like, oh, that's 9.6 million tons of TNT, and then they just move on like, okay, and then he's this fast. Like, no, go back and tell me what 9.6 million tons of TNT can blow up. Give me the highball. Like, is that a planetary thing? Is that it's just moon level, or is that a solar system feat? Like, let me know what the actual scaling for that is. Like it's like telling somebody like, oh, I can run 2.5% the speed of light. I'm like, okay, cool, so what's the speed of light? Because like you got to give that as a reference. Like by now, if you've watched Death Battle a lot, you know what the speed of light is. But with the way they explain like the TNT thing, I'm like, you're not scaling that properly. And it's mostly because they measure in two different ways. So with like, let's say for example, when they did Yusuke and Ichigo, they would be like, oh, Ichigo, he's strong enough to create 16 billion joules of energy. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. And then Yusuke gets the TNT measurement. I'm like, well, don't measure one guy in TNT and the other guy in joules.
Yeah,
Measure
like,
them.
what the fuck?
Tell me what their max power is in the same unit of measurement, you know? Because now I gotta fucking Google the math equation that I need to translate TNT explosions into joules. And I don't want to fucking do that. You guys are doing the research. Do the math for me. That's literally your job. But yeah, no, that it's just a little inconsistent. They probably do it for the sake of suspense, so that on paper you can't just be like, oh, well, this person's stronger because he said so. They probably do it that way so people are still a little bit unsure of who's actually stronger.
So from what I'm seeing here, the highest, I'm assuming it's the tons of, yeah. So the highest is 50 megatons of TNT from the SAR Bomba.
Yeah. So okay. So I like when they actually do relate it to like a specific bomb. Like they're like, oh, the SAR bomb or the father of all bombs or mother of all bombs can blow up this much. Like they'll be like, the explosion was this big, or it destroyed this much, or it creates this much energy. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. But if we're gonna do that, be consistent with both characters. Don't relate this character to an actual explosion and give us the TNT explosive power, but then turn around and talk about a different character with joules or whatever. Like, use the same unit.
So like when they reference things with TNT, I hate the fact that they come up with an absurd number when the highest that we've gotten was 50 megatons. I'm like, how do you know how that feels though? Like,
right. That's another thing. Like when you talk about that, you have to talk about a character's durability as well, because you can be like, because then again, it comes down to using the same measurements, because you can say, oh, Goku can survive the universe exploding in his face, and I'm like, okay, that sounds strong as hell, but that's not a unit of measurement. And then you'll turn around and be like, Naruto can create 18 megatons of TNT, and that's strong enough to blow up the moon. And I'm like, okay, so I can clearly tell that Goku surviving the explosion of a universe is stronger, but then you'll see in the death battle Goku take damage from a Rasengan. I'm like, that shouldn't happen, because if he can survive the explosion of a universe, he should just stand there and pretend that the Rasengan is like a butt tickler. Yeah, I don't know. At the end of the day, I'm sure it's all just for the sake of entertainment. Like they're all just like, this is fun. It's all just it's all fun. Yeah, they get paid either way, and the research isn't that important. I mean, it is important because everyone likes hearing the research, especially so they can form their own opinion before the fight starts. But yeah, it's not gonna make or break the fight anyway, because at the end of the day, it's all just for fun. It's all shits and giggles.
Yeah.
I really wish Yusuke had won that fight though, because that's my boy.
Yeah, Sam, fuck that shit.
Yeah, Ichigo can suck a dick.